Greetings to all and welcome to the third annual COSW Policy Forum on Social Work Voices Influencing Commonwealth Forums, an online event inviting all social workers and students in the Commonwealth, national associations, universities, and anyone who wishes to know more about social work in the Commonwealth and how social work voices are influencing Commonwealth forums and are amplified in the significant Commonwealth meetings leading to good governance. I take immense pleasure in inviting Mr. Nicholas Watts, Chair of Independent Forum of Commonwealth Organizations, and a huge welcome to the CHOGM delegates, Yuan Crichton Hill, Naomi Spencer, Nathan Chong Lee, and Malachi Waka. Warm welcome to our dear board members, Mr. Joachim Cuthbert Mumba, President, International Federation of Social Workers, and our board member, Ms. Naomi, Secretary COSW, Dr. David N. Jones, main representative to Commonwealth Institutions, COSW, Mr. Gerald, Mr. Charles, Ms. Jan, Mr. Ramesh, board member of COSW. Warm welcome to all social workers, teachers, practitioners, and beloved students. A good policy leads to good governance, impacting the society. In this policy forum, I trust that you will understand how the experience of local social workers get into Commonwealth and global debates. Does our experience count? Can we make a difference in society? Come, let us learn together. Welcome all. Yeah, let us remember all traumatized by conflict and violence and all humanitarian workers. Let us observe a minute of silence now. Thank you, everyone, for observing silence. Now, let me introduce the agenda for today's event. So, we have welcome, COSW activity report by the board members, young career video, social work voice influencing Commonwealth forums, COSW at CHOGM in Samoa, delegates sharing about it, COSW governance, and an open mic session with questions and comments. Then a thank you note. The Commonwealth member states.
Out. Okay, lovely. Commonwealth member states are in front of you with this slide. The Commonwealth is a partnership of 56 nations. As you can see, Canada, African nations, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, the Caribbean, Australia, Pacific nations. It was formed in 1949. And the next slide will provide further information. It's a voluntary association with 56 independent and equal countries. Most have a shared colonial history, but we're open to all. We're home to for all 5 or 6 or 7 billion people, 1/3 of the global population, which include advanced economies as well as developing countries. This enables the magnifying of voices of small states and protects the environment. The Commonwealth Charter promotes prosperity, democracy, and peace. We have common language, economic, trade, educational, legal, and financial systems in place, which is a great strength and an inducement to others to join us because of the benefit of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Naomi. Now we have the presentation of COSW activities.
And the first one is coming from me, David Jones, the main representative of COSW to the Commonwealth institutions. That's the Secretariat and the Foundation based in London. And here at the bottom, you see a photograph from the Youth Ministers meeting last year when I had the privilege to speak about some of our activities. So what is what does that involve as the intergovernmental Commonwealth? We as COSW are accredited to the Commonwealth, which means we have formal access to ministerial meetings, including the Heads of Government meeting, which you'll hear about later. We have engagement, there's Youth Ministers meeting, Health Ministers meeting, Education Ministers meeting, and various other meetings that take place, as well as regular formal dialogue with the Secretary General. I've been serving on the Commonwealth Advisory Committee on Health, and for the last 2 years, I've now handed over to another colleague, but we can still feed into that committee. And we had a very significant contribution to a recent report on accredited organisations that was published last year, at the end of last year, and we are quoted in that report. On the left, you can see that we also get invitations to receptions, and I'm there with a colleague from International Social Service meeting King Charles at Buckingham Palace. Other colleagues have other meetings with senior officials from time to time, and that's all very well, but the only point of it is to have those meetings to enable us to contribute to Commonwealth priorities and consultations, which take place regularly. We are going to hear in detail about the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. That happens every 2 years, and our team of 6 people who were in Samoa, excuse me, fighting a cold here. But they were there in Samoa last month. You'll see the heads of government standing at the front. On the left, on the right, is what was known as the Chogam Peninsula, with all the various hotels and meeting places in Apia that people visited. And you'll hear about the presentation on a resilient future for children. You see Yvonne standing there with the speakers. We also had our own presentation, which you're going to hear about, and you'll also hear from Nicholas about respecting and revitalising the commitment to civil society. Here is the team again and all of those different events, including Nathan will no doubt mention a meeting when the team was honoured with a meeting with the former head of state of Samoa. But that's all exciting things to come. We're now moving on to thinking about other partnerships that we have, and checking my running order, I'm handing over to Naomi to talk about our Commonwealth partnerships. Naomi, over to you.
Thank you, David. Commonwealth partnerships are the basis of what we're up to. COSW, Commonwealth Organisation for Social Work, is a valuable and significant partner with with others. These include the Independent Forum of Commonwealth Organisations, IFCO, and if you stay with us, you'll hear a lot more about them. The Commonwealth Children's Interest Group, COMSIG, the Kigali Declaration from meetings held in Rwanda. They're particularly relevant for us as practicing social workers in terms of child protection and wellbeing. The Commonwealth Health Professions and Partners Alliance are passionate about health equity and health access, and Ramesh and I are both representatives on that committee and very impressed with the calibre and contribution that contributes. Sustainable Cities, a call to action. Charles from Kenya is our representative on this committee, and they work very closely with the United Nations with housing, architecture, and other aspects. Human rights, equalities, and diversity. So we're particularly supportive of the Equality Network and Common Age. At Samoa, Common Age delivered a report, and again, very important contribution given the ageing of our population internationally. I think they're the most relevant ones, David, aren't they? And the non-Commonwealth partnerships, I think someone else is doing that. I'm happy to read them out. The International Federation.
Yeah, we're handing over to Teo.
Good. Thank you, Teo. Excuse me.
Okay, it's okay. Thank you, David. Hi, thanks, Naomi. Hi, good day to everybody. Yeah, I'm Theo from Malaysia, board member of the COSWA. Okay, I'm going to present on the non-Commonwealth partnerships. Yeah, as you know, we have the International Federation of Social Workers, IFSW, whom our current global president, Joachim, is also online with us. David Jones was the former president of IFSW. So we have strong connection with IFSW. We support a lot of projects and working together alongside IFSW. Our members who are educators, many of us are also active in the International Association of School of Social Work. In this region, in Asia Pacific, some of us are active in APASWE. So our partnerships, not only with IF and IA, but we also with, in the UK, with Carers Trust, and also the Young Carers Alliance. And we also participate, members of our COSWA also participated at the People's Charter for an Eco-Social World, and also the Social Work History Network, which is started about 2 years ago. We have done some webinar together. Is there anything else, David, that I may have missed? So these are the non-Commonwealth. Okay, for the projects.
And that is back to me.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Teo. So just looking at our COSWA projects and welcoming our 50th participant just joined us. We're just going through the COSWA activities and what we've been doing last year, and we have a number of projects which are running. Our flagship project for many years now has been the Young Carers Charter, and Malachi is going to talk to us a little bit about how he was able to promote that in the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. We've also got a new project, and again, our team from Samoa and the South Pacific will be telling us more about developing social work in the South Pacific as a new project, a legacy from our CHOGM activity. We have a project aiming to explore the history of the development of social work across the Commonwealth. We have various universities involved in that. We haven't made much progress in the past year, but we have had webinars and events that have explored that. And then we're contributing to the Commonwealth's new focus on aging well in the Commonwealth, a report published for CHOGM, and Dame Carol Black is the champion for this, the ambassador for aging well in the Commonwealth. And we are setting up a group that will shadow that and work with Common Age. So that will be something. And again, a number of these projects, if people are interested in knowing more, contact us through the website. And I think now, double checking that we've looked at projects. So Teo is going to talk to us about webinars. And I think I see Charles Mbugua has joined us. Charles, are you there? Are you able to say hello before we go on to the COSW webinars?
Yes, I'm able to, David. Hello, everybody.
Greetings, Charles, and thank you for joining us. Would you just like to say something about UN Habitat before we move on to the webinars and your work with UN Habitat for IFSW and COSW?
Yes, thank you, David. The work with UN Habitat through the UN partnership is critical to social work in across the world, in both Commonwealth countries and elsewhere, because as we all know, there's life in cities affects even the rural areas where we have the both divides, and rural populations, as we know and as we read from the UN reports, are streaming into cities. And as a part of social concern, we have a lot of focus has been directed towards the cities, how people live, how people share facilities and opportunities, how they access the services in terms of education, in terms of health, in terms of access to food, in terms of access to employment, and also dealing with the negative effects like the traffic, the crime in cities, and all those negatives. It's really has been a concern for the UN, and as social work and other civil societies connected with the public, we have had opportunities to have our input in terms of involvement, inclusivity, and the consideration for the less fortunate. Thank you. A lot of reports are available within the IFSW website and the UN. The role of social work has highly been recognized, and social workers now share tables in many forums. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles. We're back to Teo, who's going to talk to us about our COSW webinars in the last year.
Okay, thank you, David. Yeah. Okay, so some of the webinars that we have done, including on the regulation of social work, as you know, in many countries in the Southeast Asia and in Africa, we still have yet to have regulations and laws that regulate social workers, unlike in the UK or New Zealand. Yeah. So, for instance, in 2023, we had one on the regulating social work profession in Southeast Asia, and also we also have others. Yeah, that comes, and then for the Commonwealth Health professions, okay, professionals, yeah, alliance, okay, they have done on the building a resilience in healthcare system. Yeah, there's also something that we have participated in, and of course the International Young Carer Conference, which is that take place in April, yeah, 2024, okay, in Manchester, and for the South Social Work History Network, yeah, we had one okay, on the contested values of social work in time and place, exploring origins of social care and social work. Yeah, we have our colleagues from from the Commonwealth, especially from New Zealand and Australia, yeah, and the UK. And then for the, I think with the as you can see on the bottom right corner, yeah, there's addressing the rising burden of non-communicable disease in the Commonwealth. This is something that we participate in and supported the Commonwealth Secretary in producing the the guidance. Yeah, I think that's some of these events that we have done in the past year. Yes, over to you, David.
I think Ramesh is talking about communications.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. David. So the Commonwealth Organization for Social Work, has a website. I hope many of you know. The periodical updates are available. We request you to continuously, check the site for all the updates. We upload reports about our initiatives and our interactions with other forums in this website. And our LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter will have a quick updates, in a short form, with again detailed links to our website for detailed information. And we do have a quarterly newsletter. Please write to us at coswa.cw@gmail.com. If you have not already subscribed to this newsletter, we'll be able to share you the detailed updates through the quarterly newsletter. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ramesh. And we publish an annual report, and there will be a report published by the end of the year, which will cover the things that we've talked about in this webinar. So we're getting to the end now of the presentation on the activities of the last year. And one of the exciting things has been the excuse me, has been the involvement of Orishe Williams, who's been very successful poet and musician. This year has had a series of major pieces of music that have been published, and he's a young carers champion, working with us to support young carers. This time last year, we were at St James's Palace in London, where Orishe performed, and his song, Young Carers, You're Precious Like Gold, is available in our website, and you can look at it. But now, as we come to the end of our projection of the work that we've done in the past year, you will see, I'm just moving around my screen. There we go. We're going to look now at a video that we produced. We were able to produce with our networks all around the world and with the Young Carer Alliance, a video of young people who are young carers in, it was, I think, 11 different countries.